One nonprofit organization is looking to educate around the resources they are creating for the Hispanic population when it comes to making mental health a priority. Here to explain more is Safe Harbor Counseling Institute psychologist Aleida Garcia. Welcome, Aleida.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me
Yeah, we're happy to have
today.
you on. And Aleida, it's Hispanic Heritage Month, so can you tell us about your mission to support the underserved Hispanic community with mental health resources?
Of course, in Say Harbor, we're trying to help our community, especially those who don't have access to mental health because maybe their legal status in the US, or maybe even if they have legal status, they don't have insurance, which is a lot of people. And some who have insurance but don't have the money to pay the co-payments. So we're trying to provide services to these families that are in desperate need of resources and help.
And walk us through the services and resources that you offer.
Well, we have different type of resources for families. We do provide individual and family therapy, and so families can call us, and we can provide book a session with them. And if they need individual therapy, or sometimes we provide also family therapy. We also do a lot of psychoeducation classes in the community to teach parents better parenting skills and better ways to cope with mental health issues in our community. Unfortunately, mental health is still stigma. We don't talk a lot about mental health. So we want to educate people and tell them that there are resources, that are help. They are not the only ones going through these, and we always want to make sure they have somebody to reach out to.
A lot of resources being offered. And do you offer services in both English and Spanish?
Yes, we do. All of our therapists are bilingual, and especially for sometimes parents, they prefer their service in Spanish because they that's their first language. But a lot of our teenagers, they prefer their services in English, even though they are bilingual as well. So we are prepared to serve both. Yes.
You offer both option. And why is it important that the Hispanic community prioritizes their mental health?
Mental health has been an issue, and it is an issue in all communities in the US, but especially in the Hispanic community because there is a lack of understanding and there is a lot of shame about it. And we are a very close community. So when we have issues, we want to solve it within the family. We don't want other people to know about.
Mhm.
And so educating our community, letting them know that this is mental health is as important as our physical health. And we do really need to take care of our mental health, and it is okay to reach out for help. There's nothing wrong with that. We are not the only ones going through whatever crisis we're going through. There are more people going through this, and there are professionals and people willing to help. And so that's what we want to share every day. That's a message that we want to send out, that please don't stay with your issues at home. Work out of your home, reach out, get that phone, call us. We're here to help.
It's important to reach out, and people are trying to break the stigma surrounding mental health. Do you think there's a stigma associated to mental health for our communities of color? You kind of highlighted a little bit on the Hispanic community of just handling it within the family, keeping it to yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a big stigma, and I think it has to do with the fact that in the past we didn't have access to those resources. That was a topic we didn't talk about in our families. So we grew up thinking like, okay, we just need to solve it and
Yeah.
move on with our lives. And a lot of times we didn't solve that. So we
Hmm.
grew up to be adults with issues, with mental health issues, and we didn't understand why. Were we dealing with depression? Were we dealing with anxiety? Now we're talking more about it. We are normalizing these, and fortunately, organization and other organizations are trying to work on these, making sure that people know that there are resources out there for them, and that is help for them.
Yeah, it's important to know that there's always help provided. And you recently hosted a major event. Could you tell us about it?
We have been doing different events, and we're going to have one big one on October the 22nd here in Chino, California. It's going to be a event of around, we're expecting around 500
Wow.
people attending this event. It's a symposium for the family. We're going to be educating families. Parents are going to be one side of the venue learning about mental health, while
Wow.
other children and teenagers are going to be on the other side learning
So
also
much
about
to
mental health
offer.
and
I don't want to
their
cut you
life.
off, Aleda, but I want to make sure I let our viewers know where they can go for more information so they can attend that event. For more details, visit safeharborcci.org.